We're in the Zone Coverage Studios in the Cumulus Radio. Yeah, it is a studio.
Gorgeous facility.
We've got the sound pads, we've got the microphones, and the headsets in the foreground.
Look at that.
Come on, hater.
Arif Hasan,
Very
Luke Inman.
professional.
My name's Sam Ekstrom. Viking season is over, and there are a million questions to answer this offseason. Let's answer one right now. Was Kevin Stefanski's run as offensive coordinator a good one, and would you like him back? He's already getting interviewed by the Cleveland Browns, so obviously they've got great judgment. He must have been great, right, Luke?
And we'll be back after commercial. No, I think Stefanski, he got that 3-game sample. I would have loved to see a couple more games under his belt because the good was great. You look at the Dolphin game, his first run, 21-zip right out the gate. The bad was really tough. And how much of that was the Bears just being a really great team? I think they're starting to finally get a lot of national love from maybe some of the haters that said, they were just a flash in the pan. I think that Stefanski is certainly going to have plenty of guys on his side within the organization, within the coaching staff, and the players that really want him back. But as Arif knows, there's a lot of intriguing names that could be brought in. And when you look at just the offenses in general, teams like the Chiefs, Andy Reid, McVay, and the Rams, teams are doing some really creative stuff. And I think fans grew some frustration with obviously the expectations, Kirk Cousins, and the star talent that we have, and not really producing even close to what I think a lot of people expected.
Yeah, no, I thought that what we saw from Stefanski, largely good. Some of the stuff that I think we were frustrated with throughout the season with the play calling, and I wanted to keep DiFilippo, but there were a lot of frustrations with play calling. I thought we saw a lot of those kind of get addressed. We saw a lot more play action in those first 2 weeks with Stefanski, really effective play action. We saw, a little bit faster pace, which is good to see. And we saw kind of the offense, even when they were in a rut, find their way to get out and score some points. Obviously, the Bears game was a big problem. Maybe one of the differences that the Dolphins' defense is really simple, plus they've kind of seen a version of it because it's in kind of the Zimmer coaching tree, right? The Detroit Lions' defense, not that great, also kind of simple. Once you got a complicated defense, it kind of broke down. So there needs to be some kind of evaluation of how that occurred, but I think for the most part, the question isn't really, was he great or not? I don't think we've got enough evidence. It's do we have enough evidence to say that he wasn't good? And I think to say, I think it's pretty clear he wasn't bad. And with that, I think in mind, the question about whether or not to keep him, obviously if he's got a head coaching job kind of in the offing, there's no way to keep him. But I think that they should. I think that there's an importance in continuity. I think that they've cycled through a lot of offensive coordinators. I think that it's also kind of just a bad look to prevent someone from going to another organization to be an offensive coordinator, and then he finally gets the chance here in Minnesota, then you don't allow him to kind of get that full chance.
Right.
Obviously you want to evaluate kind of his ability to work with the other coaches, his chemistry with the other players and stuff like that. That's all a big part of the decision that we don't always have the information or access to. But I think given what we know, the Vikings should keep him because we, like you said, we know kind of what the best of that offense can look like when Stefanski's coordinating an offense. More points than they've scored all year. I think that he's a really smart football mind. He's worked with basically every position group except the offensive line as a direct coach, and I think he brings a lot to the organization.
And I'll end with this. Everyone said that Kevin Stefanski simplified the offense in the last 3 games, which I think is a good solution for an ailing offense when you're switching voices.
Midway through the season.
But when you are going to be the guy, you're going to have to add some more volume. And it's going to have to be the type of volume that fits what your playmakers can do. Does it fit your quarterback skill set? Does it fit your offensive line's limitations? I think that's all to be determined on Kevin Stefanski if he gets the chance in Minnesota. So certainly the verdict is not yet out. Zone Coverage Football Machine about to be recorded. Check it out on iTunes. 2 hours, hardcore football talk. Luke, Arif, Sam Ekstrom. Talk to you later.